Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to Ride to Independence. I'm your host, Trish. Imagine standing at the base of El Capitan at 66 years old and saying, yeah, I'm climbing that. Today on our senior living segment, I'm joined by author, educator, and climber Dierdre Wolownick, who took on El Capitan and proved you can do anything at any age. We're talking about her 7-step method for turning dreams into reality and why it's never too late to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Let's get to my conversation with Dierdre Wolownick. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you on. I just want to say that I read this book, Success in 7 Steps, and I found it to be so grounded in practical advice.
Good.
And it's very simple steps that you can take to follow your dreams and make them a reality.
Right. At any age.
At any age. That's right. That's right. So in your book, please explain to me, in teaching the 7 steps, Dierdre, because you're living proof that it works, because you did a marathon, you climb mountains, you're an author, you're a teacher, you were orchestra conductor. So there's really a vast amount of things that you accomplished. So tell everyone, where should people start with the first step?
Well, all of the 7 steps fit into 3 major overarching categories. And the first category is the very first most important thing that people need to do when you have a dream. You want to learn to learn to play the saxophone, whatever it is. You want to open a hat shop. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how old you are. But you have to proceed in a certain way if you actually want to get there. It's like taking a trip. If you get on the wrong train, you're not going to get there. Taking a trip. So,
right.
The 3 categories that contain all these 7 steps is very simple and logical. And a lot of people, if you mix and match these, if you start in the wrong category, you're not going to get there. You're going to get frustrated because it's going to be too hard. And happens to a lot of people. They want to learn the piano or the saxophone. They start or they want to run marathons. They buy running shoes and they go out on Monday morning. I'm going to run. No, that's not how it starts.
Yeah.
The first category has to be what you need to know. And people don't like to start this way because it's slow, it's painstaking. But if you don't know everything that you need to know about what it is you want to accomplish, you're not going to get there. It's like with running. You mentioned I did a marathon. I've done many marathons and many half marathons. And I was never an athlete. And I have very severe lung problems. I shouldn't be running, technically. All the data says this is not for you. But I wanted to do it. And I did it this way. And when I started, I didn't know anything about running. I didn't know about and the clothes and the shoes that are everything's special for every sport.
Right.
It's special. And I poo-pooed all that. I said, I'm just going to go out and run. Well, it doesn't work that way. I mean, once I, sit down and follow the program, then this is the program that's in my book. It's like magic.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about those steps. But since today's conversation is all about not letting age limits age you and what's possible in whatever age you want to do, can you share your age with us?
Good. Well, I'm 74 right now. Last year, you showed the book, this book.
Yeah.
This is the peak that I climbed for my 73rd birthday. And I climbed it. I became the oldest woman to climb El Capitan in Yosemite. I did it with my son. Talk about him later. He's another whole story. But I did that at 66.
Yeah.
I was way, way older than the oldest person, the oldest woman to ever get on El Capitan. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter what people have told you all your life. You can't do this because da-da-da-da. And we hear that from the media. If you're a certain age, you should be taking these pills. You should be doing this exercise regimen. You should be not doing this, not doing that. That's all nonsense. You know your body and you know your mind. And armed with this method in this book, you can do anything you want to.
Yeah, I did notice when I read your book. I mean, it's very, very detailed in exactly what you need to do. And the
Yes.
first step is the most difficult step
Yes.
because it's the most time consuming.
Right.
It's
Right.
the most time consuming. You have to learn what you really want to do.
Right.
You have to
Right.
define it.
You have to
Yeah.
know yourself.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to share it with everyone because there really is a step by step exactly how to follow your dream and to make it a reality. But
Right.
one thing I do want to ask you is how does this method help people who deal with doubt, who deal with fear?
That's a very good question. And it affects all of us to a certain extent. But doubt and fear come from not knowing enough. I mean, when we're little, we're afraid of the dark. We don't know what's in there. We don't know what's under the bed. So we're afraid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fear and doubt is a precursor to fear. They go together. And fear comes from not knowing enough. But once you've finished, I mean, really finished category one, what you need to know. You will know so much about your
Yeah.
sport or endeavor or business or whatever it is, your dream, about your dream. You will know it fully. You will know fully what you'll need to know, what you'll need to do, what you'll need to have. And so the fear just goes away because it has no place.
Yeah.
Fear comes from not knowing. Once you know everything you need to about your dream, there's no place for fear.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very well put. Absolutely. Do you think that people are actually afraid of aging or afraid of failing later in life? And this is why they don't move forward with their dreams.
People are afraid of aging, and for
Yeah.
various reasons. Mostly it's about the pain and the suffering that comes with aging. And
Yeah.
I guess fear comes from not knowing. If you know your body, you want to climb El Capitan, for example. I know that my lungs are shot. I know this. So I had to do certain things to avoid certain activities, to ramp up other activities, to train myself more in certain things so that it would compensate for those lacks in my body. Um, so once you know everything you need to know, this kind of all settles into a rhythm and to a very logical progression. And that's what my book is about, a logical progression. There's no secret to accomplishing your dream once you have the right method. And none of the books out there, they talk about, being a better person, get in touch with your feelings and whatever. That won't get you there. That will make you a better person. It can help you with your understanding of yourself, and that's for sure. And there are a lot of ways to go about that particular step. But that's not a roadmap. My book is a how-to book. It's not a, woo-woo, feel better book. It's a how-to book. You follow these steps, you will reach your dream. And I've proven it over and over and over in my life, as has my son, Alex Honnold.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So many people still believe that there is a certain age that dreaming, well, you have to just stop dreaming because reality sets in, right? And it takes over. What do
That's
you say to those skeptics who say, "Oh, I can't do that. I'm already 45 and, dreaming is for children."
So you want to open, let's say, a flower shop. That's your dream. You've always dreamed about that. You love plants when you were a little kid, always dreamed about opening a flower shop. If you don't do it at 45, you'll get to be 46 and you won't have a flower shop. If you try it at 45, maybe you'll get to 46 and open your flower shop. You have to decide, the first thing you have to decide is whether you really, really want this, whatever it is.
Yeah.
When I decided I want to go up El Cap with my son, I mean, this is a ridiculous dream. I was 60
Yeah.
or 65 when I made that decision. That's a ridiculous dream. Everybody told me, "Oh, Dierdre, you're going to get hurt. You're too old. Oh, Dierdre, you have grandkids now."
Yeah.
And da. All that stuff is true. But what I said before is true. If I didn't try it, I would never know. And the way to try it is by following this roadmap, this very specific roadmap that will get you there if you really want it. And that's the kicker. You have to really, really want it.
Yeah, I mean, can you share an example of how one specific step can help you in in that challenging moment? Just one step. I know you said the flower shop. You have to learn everything about opening a flower shop.
Mhm.
Everything.
Yeah, people
I mean,
say,
you have to learn about flowers, first of all.
right, you have to decide what kind of shop. Is it open to the public or only to companies like, funeral parlors and weddings and things?
Oh,
Do,
right.
do you have enough time to man to be there when you have to be there? Because a flower shop, any business is a massive undertaking. Will your spouse, if you're married, will they take up the slack at home? Will they feed the kids in the evening when you're working? Will they, you have to line this stuff up. Do you have enough money to pay rent on a shop? If not, how else could you get around, having to shop or storefront in your house, whatever it's going to
Right.
be? You have to know those things. When I say no, I mean work through all the details of this endeavor, whatever you're thinking about doing, and how it will affect your life. If you're married, your spouse's life, and if you have kids, their lives. You have to know all that before you move ahead. And people don't. People buy, they buy running shoes. They go out running on Monday morning because they're going to run a marathon this year. Darn it. That's what they want to do. But they didn't do this step.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, they're sore. On Wednesday, they can barely
Yeah.
move. They go out and they run again. They say, well, this is what I'm supposed to be running. I'm going to go running. And then they hurt on Thursday and they're starving all the time and they don't know why, because they didn't learn enough about nutrition first, because they didn't learn enough about shoes first and the pronation of your feet and which way your ankle
Right.
turns. If you don't know enough, you will not succeed. This is very simple, very straightforward, very logical. And most people ignore that step. They say, I
Yeah.
want to learn the saxophone. Which kind of
Yeah.
saxophone? Which kind of music? You live in an apartment building. Will the neighbors all tolerate your practicing? All of this stuff is in the first category, what you need to know. And it's go
Yeah.
people go through school here and they learn to hate homework. Oh, homework. This is the homework that you have
Yeah.
to do if you are serious about a dream.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. You have to do your homework, and that's all about the first step is
Right.
doing your homework. Now, you also talk about journaling. Journaling seems to be a very big thing in your life.
Yes.
I'm assuming you still journal,
Yes.
and it kept you on track
Yes. Oh,
with your endeavors and your dreams. What
absolutely.
are the advantages of journaling, and how did it help you through your life?
A journal, people call it a journal or a diary or just writing in my notebook every whatever. It doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't matter how you do it, whether you do it on a keyboard on a computer or you have a favorite pen or pencil, whatever. It doesn't matter how. But a journal or a diary, whatever you want to call it, is the best shrink in the world. You can figure out who you are, what you want. Sorry, I got plant bugs flying around. Um, Journal is a key to what drives you. And if you're going to reach your dream, you're going to have to be driven. People talk about, oh, he's driven. My son is also often described that way. He's driven. I'm not that driven. Well, if you're not driven enough, you're not going to get there. That's what I meant by really, really want it. Okay. And you can figure that out in your journal. When you start journaling about what you need to know to do this dream of yours, well, it will all come to light. You will figure out what you need to know, why you need to know it, who can help you find out all that information. When I started I was an independent publisher for many years, way, way back, 1990, I think I started. I knew nothing about publishing, nothing. But I had a publisher for my first book, my very first book. And instead of publishing the book at the very, very end of this whole long process, it took a year or 2 years to get the book ready. I'd done the marketing research for them. Everything was ready. And then they went under. I was absolutely devastated.
Wow.
So I decided to publish the book myself.
Yeah.
I knew nothing. Do you know what a publisher does? Is a publisher the same as a printer? All these little numbers that are on books, the ISBN number, the Library of Congress, who gets those? Where do you get those? all of that stuff you have to figure out before you start. Before you start. And there's all kinds of people out there willing to help you, ready and willing. Yeah. I get like your library. Your librarians are wonderful sources of information. They'll help you with anything. They live to do that. So there's all kinds of ways to help yourself. Journal is the best first step because that is a key to who you are and what you want and how badly you want it.
Yeah, in journaling, you also mention about taking baby steps and to have a timer. Put a timer on.
Yeah.
And, start with 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Right. It doesn't have to be a major enterprise. 5 minutes once a week.
Right.
Busy as a mom, you're busy as a business person, whatever it is, 5 minutes before you go to bed or before you start your day in the morning. Set your timer. Don't pick up your pen. Don't stop writing until that 5 minutes has elapsed. And little by little, it won't happen overnight. It's like any endeavor. You have to be faithful to it. You have to do it all the time, within your parameters. 5 minutes a week, 5 minutes a day, whatever it is, 30 minutes twice a week, whatever. Doesn't matter. But you have to be regular at it. And it will evolve into something absolutely amazing where you can figure out answers to all the questions in your life. Who am I? What do I want? Why am I alone still? I'm searching. Why have I not started my business yet? I want to figure it out in your journal.
Yeah, journaling, I've heard, and I've heard many times from all different types of, even medical people mention that journaling is one of the ways that you can really learn about yourself and who you are. And, even if you just write for 2 minutes, but put yourself on a timer. Because people might say 5 minutes of writing, wow, that's a lot. Well, once you let your brain start working and really going deep about who you are, it'll start to get easier and easier.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and so I advocate for journaling too. And that's really something that I need to start too in 2026. I keep saying I'm gonna start myself. But you also talk about learning how to say yes. That yes is the key to allowing the universe to become your partner in this grand adventure that we call life. When the universe opens these doors for you, you have to know those signs.
Right.
You have to learn those signs and when to say yes.
Right.
Can you explain what saying yes has meant to you?
Well, you talked a moment ago about fear of journaling. Fear, as I mentioned, comes from not knowing enough. That's all. People don't know about journals, so they're afraid to start. They figure, it's too much time. They don't know enough. That's where it comes from. Once you do know, once you sit down and try it, that fear just goes away. Remind me, what was the topic? What was I just answering for you?
Oh, that when the universe puts
yes,
paths in your way. Yeah.
Exactly. We are trained from birth to listen to the media. The media tells us what to eat. It tells us what to wear. It tells us what to watch. It tells us what not to do. It tells you what not to wear. Why do we believe it? I've never understood that. Why do people buy it? Why does that let other people, a marketing team in some marketing company in New York or Hollywood, why do they let them dictate your own needs and your own wants and your own desires? People tell you...
Because they're supposed to be the expert.
You are the only expert when it comes to your own dreams and your own mind and your own body. You are the only expert. It's like parenting. There are a zillion books about parenting. Only you know yourself and your child and what's working and what's not working. And this gets me very angry. We give away our power to these companies, these marketing powers, when they have no power at all. They don't know you. You have to start making your own decisions. And the journal will help you do that. The journal will help you first decide what it is you want to decide about. What topics. You want to open a store. You want to become a business person. You want to raise puppies. Whatever you want to do. The journal can Journal can walk you through it. But once an opportunity presents itself, and you have to get better and better at recognizing these opportunities. But once an opportunity presents itself, like this one, for example, come on my podcast. I never hesitated before saying yes, because I have done the homework. I know enough about podcasts. I know they can be fun and beneficial. They can help so many people. And so I would never say no. You have to get better in your journal first at recognizing the opportunity. And when it happens, well, the media tells you, well, how old? You're 60, whatever. You shouldn't be doing that. It's your choice to listen to them or to decide for yourself. People have given up all of their own power, all of their own deciding processes, and given it away to marketing teams all over the world. And I'll never understand that. I didn't understand that when I was little. People used to tell me, oh, well, you can't do that. You're a girl. When I was 4, when I was 5.
Right.
So you can't follow those boys up onto that tree in the garage. If you're a little girl, you're supposed to wear dresses.
Yeah.
Says who? I didn't think so. So I followed the little boys up the tree and up the garage roof, and I had a wonderful time. I was a climber when I was a kid, but it was beat out of me. It was told, oh, you're a girl. You're not supposed to do that. Nonsense. Make your own decision.
Yeah. No, I know. If you would have believed all the hype and you would have listened to the media, Dierdre, you never would have done everything that you did. I mean, you've accomplished so much in your life.
Right.
How do you think why do you think, or why or how do you think that we lose our courage as we get older? Do you think society teaches us to stay in our lane because of age?
Yes.
Stay in your lane, just like you were just talking about.
Right, exactly. Not society driven by these marketing firms. They want you to take these drugs, so they tell you, oh, if you're 65, you should be taking such and so to sleep better and to look better, to have better skin. Says who? Well, their marketing team. They want to make money at it. People don't think this through. That's just marketing. Do you want to live by marketing, or do you want to, follow your own dream? That's your choice. And I'll never understand why people choose the marketing over. I mean, the marketers know how to make you believe that they are the experts. They are the experts. People are afraid to make the choices themselves because they figure, well, I'm not an expert in that. They must know what they're talking about.
Well, what would you say someone who's who's listening right now, who's in their 60s, they're in their 70s, or maybe even 80s, and they feel like they've missed their chance? What would you tell them?
You have never missed your chance if you want to try it. I mean, you've only missed your chance if you've said no, basically, is what it comes down to.
Okay.
If you said no to that opportunity when you were 40 or when you were 50 or when you were 12 or whatever, if you said no to that opportunity, then you missed your chance. If you said yes, you can always try. I mean, I didn't start running until I was 55. I had lung issues. I had this and that issues. But I watched my daughter, her marathon, and I watched the people coming in, and they just looked so happy. They had this glow that I didn't think I had ever experienced. And I wanted to know what that was like. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
What can happen? If it's not for me, I'll find out, when I try it. But first you have to embrace that first category, what you need to know. And once you do that, all the doors open up and you can start making all of your own decisions. It's amazing how it works. And it always works. It always works. My son used to say this in interviews when he was much younger, in his teens and in his 20s. People would interview him because of these outrageous things he had done on the rocks. He's the world's most famous rock climber. He climbed this. Anyway, they would interview him and they would say things like that. The topic is. What was I just saying?
Telling people that are 60s, 70s, and 80s, and
okay.
What's the first step that they can take to get started?
They would interview him and they would say, rave about what he had done. They would rave about this historic climb that he had just done. And he would always shrug and say, anybody can do this. And they would laugh because, they couldn't do it. And you and I couldn't do it. But we haven't tried like he has tried. We haven't embraced it.
Right.
We haven't embraced the method. He would always shrug and say, anybody can do this. And that's what I'm talking about. Anybody truly can do anything if they follow this method and that they really, really want it. Age is no barrier. Gender is no barrier. Used to be really touted. If you're a girl, you can't do. When I was a little girl, there were only 3 lives open to me. I could be a secretary, I could be a teacher, or I could be a nurse or a mother, stay-at-home mom. Well,
Right.
I didn't believe that then, and I don't believe it now. Any can be open to you. You have to follow that method. The first category, what you need to know. And from there, all these doors will open, and you can go any direction you want at any age. I didn't start climbing until I was 60.
Yeah.
I climbed El Cap at 66.
Right.
But he does that because they don't understand this method.
Yeah.
And Alex doesn't understand it either. He just does it. All his life he's done it, followed this method. But I've put it in a small book that anybody can follow, and they can achieve that dream, whatever it is, however old they are, whatever gender they are, it doesn't matter.
Well, he must have been inspired by someone, Dierdre, when he was growing up, because children do absorb our beliefs.
Yes.
They absorb our reality. They actually listen to us. So I believe that you gave him that inspiration.
One big step, major step, and I believe fed this, what you're talking about, is the fact that we did not have television when the kids were in. We've never had television in our house. They never saw commercials. They never saw the nonsense that's on television. They never saw the media telling them what to wear, what to buy, what to enjoy, and this. So they didn't have this media, this constant media feed of what you can do and what you should not do. They didn't have that. They only had us taking them out into the outdoors and showing them that anything's possible. I'm not down on all media. Don't take it that way. Media is wonderful for certain things. The marketing rules our lives, and we have to step back and realize that and then take control of our own lives.
Well, you were definitely inspiration to your children, Dierdre. You got to take that because, again, children learn by how they're raised and what they see from their parents. What did your kids teach you?
Oh, so much. Oh. That's what this other book is about. This one, have you seen this one? Sharp End of Life. That's I wrote that book.
Oh, the other book, yes, The Sharp End of Life. Yeah,
I wrote that after I did El Capitan with Alex. After I climbed that impossible wall in Yosemite, because I've been a writer all my life, and writing is how I process life. Some people go to shrink, some people talk to their clergyman or their best friend. I write. I figured it all out that way.
Yeah. That's why journaling's so important.
Yes,
because
exactly.
you figure out who you are.
Exactly. And when I was researching for that book, I had to really delve into all the stuff I had learned from my daughter and my son. My daughter is also an extreme athlete. She's an extreme runner and cyclist. One of her most recent feats was she and her partner, James, they bicycled from the West Coast, from the Pacific to the Atlantic with no or team or anything like that. They just camped all the way. And they've both been inspiring they've helped me realize this method of mine. They helped me understand that, yes, it actually is a real method, step-by-step program. Anybody can do it. Watching them achieve their dreams like that and just be so happy as they did. They were just so thrilled, excited. Life just lights you up if you are following your dream. And I began to think about that and then kind of put this method of mine together. And it's a powerful force. It's a real powerful force.
Absolutely. Now, what goals do you have for 2026 that you want to share with the public right now?
Well, I've got a lot of things going on. I'm speaking in Europe again this coming spring and fall. And I will be doing a The second documentary about me is about to come out in Montreal, in Quebec, and I will be going up there for a
Okay, nice.
series of what do you call those premiere events. I think 5 or
Yeah,
6 years.
yeah.
I've climbed once in the Dolomites, which are in northern Italy, near Switzerland, between Italy and Switzerland. Huge array of mountains. It's unlike anything I've ever seen anywhere else, and I've seen a lot of mountains. But I've climbed there 2 times in a few years ago, and I've been longing to go back there and do more. And I'm going to be doing that this summer. I think we'll be climbing in the Slovenian Alps and the Dolomites. So I have all kinds of things on the docket.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Well, that's just wonderful to hear. The book is Success in 7 Steps, and everyone should get a hold of it. It's a great book, and it teaches you the steps to turn your dreams into reality. I've read it, and I'm going to follow this to the T to open up more dreams that I might have that I might want to do.
You never know.
But thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
What an inspiring conversation. Dierdre reminds us that growth doesn't stop at a certain age. It begins the moment we decide to take the first step, even if the mountain in front of us feels impossible. Whether you're climbing El Capitan or climbing towards a personal goal, the real transformation happens when you say yes to the challenge. If this episode inspired you, share it with someone who needs that reminder. And stay tuned for Monday's business episode, because we're shifting the conversation from mountains to momentum in your own work life. What direction is your business going in? Don't forget to follow and hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode of Ride to Independence. Until next time, keep driving your dreams to reality, one step at a time.